Welcome back, Outward fans. It's great to be back with this game. As many of you know, there's a DLC coming out called Soroboreans on June 16th for PC, which is really soon, and July 7th for consoles. I was fortunate enough to be able to play this DLC a little early, so in today's video I'm going to give you a class guide for the Speedster class, the Master of Motion. Let's get right into it. On this beautiful sunny day, we have arrived in the new city of Harmattan, and we actually got here from the traveling Soroborian caravaner, which you can find him in all of the major cities. I happen to come from Sierzo. If you guys notice, I am using some new fist weapons. Maybe I'll do a video on those later. They're pretty sweet. So let's take a look at the map here. So the Speedster class trainer is located in the top right of the map in the military district, and right now we're on the southern portion at the southern gates, so let's head up there and see what he's all about. I got clothesline. Welcome to the military district. And if you notice over here to the right, there's this shirtless bearded fellow, and his name is Surge Battleborn, the Master of Motion. You scoff at my appearance, but one training session with me could change your life. I'll teach you to strike like lightning and evade with the grace of a butterfly. Now put him up. So that right there kind of tells you what this class is all about. Let's take a look at the skill tree, and I'm going to give examples of many of these skills in combat as well, so stick around. The Speedster class, like all of the other classes, does have a middle passive skill that requires a breakthrough point to access the skills above it. So many of you will have to start a new character for this expansion unless you still left yourself one breakthrough point, which is highly unlikely. So let's take a look at the skills now. On the bottom left, we have a passive skill called Efficiency. Maximum stamina increased by 25. You can't go wrong with that. Now to the right, we have a skill that is going to be the core of the Speedster class, and it's called Probe. Probe requires stamina and has a cooldown of 0.5. You can basically spam it. It does require a melee weapon to use, so if you're purely a ranged type player and you do not like engaging in melee combat, then the Speedster class probably isn't for you. You can still do a lot of ranged attacks, but you do have to get in up and close and gritty to gain certain things, and then you can back off and use ranged abilities. Probe reads as a weak attack that increases alertness level on hit, evolves into stronger forms as alertness level rises. So alertness levels are what this class is all about. You can get a max of 4 alertness levels, and you gain them by using Probe. Upon each successful hit, you gain an alertness level up to 4, like I said. These alertness levels help with all of the skills here, from the passive middle breakthrough point all the way up. Every single one of these deals with alertness levels, so this is really, really important to understand. Probe itself is kind of a weak attack, but as you gain alertness levels, when you get into alertness level 3 and 4, it actually becomes a lot more powerful. Here's what Probe looks like not in combat. Just a quick jab, and if I take out my sword here, you can see it with that. Like I said, when we get to alertness levels 3 and 4, the animation changes and it actually becomes pretty powerful. Check it out. Also keep in mind that when you gain alertness, you extend the period of invulnerability when dodging, which is great, but you're also more vulnerable to taking damage, so there is a little bit of risk. So now that we know how to gain alertness levels, what exactly is it used for? So all 5 of these skills from the breakthrough skill and up all deal with alertness levels, which you gain from Probe, which we just showed. If we take a look at the passive breakthrough, it's called Daredevil. Reduce all skill cooldowns by 10% per alertness level. So the more probes that you land up to the max of 4, your cooldowns are going to be getting reduced drastically. That's actually a really good passive skill right there, especially if you have a lot of skills that have cooldowns. They're going to be dropping like flies, and you're going to be using them a lot more with this class. Speaking of cooldowns, that brings us to our next skill right here called Prime. So Prime removes 2 alertness levels, which basically means that it costs 2 alertness levels. You have to be at least at 2x alertness, and it instantly resets the cooldown of the next skill used in the next 3 minutes. This is super powerful. So after you use Prime, well, first you're going to use Probe to get to at least a 2x alertness level, and then you'll use Prime, and the skill that you use following Prime right after you use it, the cooldown is going to go instantly back to 0. You can basically use it twice. You can basically spam a really powerful attack. Well, not really spam, but these really powerful attacks have cooldowns for a reason, and the fact that you can now use it one after another is really, really powerful. So I like to use Prime with skills such as Sniper Shot, which is a really powerful hunter bow shot, and this has a 30-second cooldown, which isn't too bad, but it's definitely not quick. So I activate Prime, I use one sniper shot, and then I instantly shoot another one if the enemy's still far away, and it just drops medium to lower level enemies like flies. They do not stand a chance. Another attack that I like to use it with is the Rogue's class attack called Serpent's Parry, which has a cooldown of 100 seconds, which is a bit longer. It's a really powerful parry counterattack, and I basically activate Prime, let the enemy strike me, use Serpent's Parry, counterattack, dish a lot of damage, then let the enemy strike me again, Serpent's Parry, even more damage. It's just so powerful. This Prime is just such a good skill, guys. You're gonna love using it, and you get to use your favorite abilities more often in combat now. Also, guys, let me point out that when you gain alertness levels, they do have a timer on them, so you can actually still have alertness levels left over from the fight before. As you can see, I have 3 right now, and I can actually pop my my Prime and use Sniper Shot twice to start off a new fight like this. So here's one Sniper Shot, and then look, there's no cooldown on it, and I get another Sniper Shot. That's pretty sick. Very powerful. So next to the Prime skill, we have another skill that requires alertness levels, but this time only one alertness level, and it's called Unerring Read. Removes 1 alertness levels, cancels the next hit received in the next 20 seconds. This can be a great skill as well, for once you use it, if you slip up and the enemy gets a hit on you, you will not take damage. If you're low on health but you think you might still be able to win the fight, pop Unerring Read and it just might save your life. If you want to use Speedster to Speedster skills, then use the skill that we just talked about called Prime, and then use Unerring Read twice, really making it hard to kill you, for you're basically immune to damage for up to 40 seconds, or at least the next 2 strikes that you fail to dodge or fail to block. Here's some more examples of Unerring Read in combat. Now on to the top 2 skills here, and they're both passive skills, and you can only choose one of these. The first one is called Blitz, which I did choose. Increases sprinting speed by 5% and running attack damage by 10% per alertness level. So as you can see, that alertness level, keeping it high, really helps with some of these skills, even some of the passive skills. I chose Blitz because the increased sprinting speed by 5% just made me excited in a game where fast travel is limited. It's always nice to be able to move faster, and the running attack damage I actually came around to. Once you start thinking about this, it kind of changes up your playstyle. You start moving around like a crazy guy and running and jump attacking and doing circles. I don't know, it kind of changes your playstyle, so I'm happy that I chose Blitz to kind of force myself to do this. Next to Blitz is Anticipation. Increases physical protection stat by 2 per alertness level. This is a really tanky skill. If you can get up to 4x alertness and hold on to it for a little bit, you're basically really hard to kill. You can just take a ton of physical damage. It's really nice. I actually kind of wish that I chose this, but that's all good because now I'll just be the crazy guy who runs around doing jump attacks. And the last skill that we did not talk about yet is on the bottom right here. You can get this whether you invest into this tree or not. I definitely recommend everybody picks this up because why not? It's a passive skill that's going to help you. Passive skill that increases corruption resistance by 10%. I won't get too much into corruption right now, but the new area in the DLC has a lot of corruption in it, and anytime you can get any resistance to it is definitely helpful. Now that it's basically pitch black, I think it's a good time to go ahead and switch to a combat scene without any video cuts so you guys can really see what the Speedster class is all about. Alright, I got 2 enemies on me right now. Let's use whatever Speedster skills come to mind. I think I'm going to try to use Probe on one to get alert level 2. And maybe I'll Sniper Shot them both. Okay, we got level 2. Now let's see if we can Sniper Shot them both. Get him to stop running. There goes one. Sniper Shot's not on cooldown. Bam! Speedster rocks. So whatever skills that you love to use that also have that annoying cooldown timer, get yourself to alertness level 2, use Prime, and say goodbye to that cooldown. So now we've got Prime, and we also have that middle passive skill called Daredevil, which helps reduce cooldowns. So the Speedster really is a great addition to many builds in this game. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It's a huge help to my videos. I do all sorts of content on this channel, ranging from comedy videos to live streams to game tutorials to game reviews to product reviews and more. I'd love to see some of you guys in a future video. More outward content on the way. Until next time.